Hello everyone, and welcome back to a bit of Steel Division League, Season 8, and today we're going into the big boys club. We're going into Division 1 of League Season 8, and we're gonna start with the first game played in that division, Shkodder versus Khers, and that should be a pretty interesting match, as Shkodder is an old name in Division 1, has been there couple of times already, one of the real veterans of Steel Division 2, while Khers is an up-and-comer, winning Division 2 last season, and is now the hotshot in Division 1. So let's see how the old versus new will play out, and I hope you are as hyped as I am as we're going into this. And before we go into this, let's have a look onto the Matcherino page, as this is how this whole tournament and its prize pool is funded, and you can do your part without paying anything. All you have to do is click on this claim code button and you will add 25 cents to the prize pool for free just by clicking that button. And yeah, I have a new haircut. I went under a lawnmower and it happened. What can I say? Yeah, claim code can happen here. And you can add 25 cents to the prize pool for free if you want to give a bit of appreciation back to the players who play these amazing games for us and want to get us a bit closer to esports. You can do that just for free there. Or if you want to contribute more money directly, you are also welcome to do that by the contribute button. And big thanks to all the guys who already did, like Witch Doctor, Alexander Gord, Proxy, Dilly Roberts. Big thanks to you guys. And yeah, let's move on to the game itself in Division 1, because this should be a pretty nice one. So yeah, let's see. What do we have at hand? We have Khers hanging out the 5th Cavalry Motorizata. Attack power is hard, will beat faster right now. Whilst on the right side, MGB for Shkodder. MGB, a division that I have in lower B tier, I think. Division that got buffed lately by getting AA and A phase, but it still obviously has glaring weaknesses in the form of not having any tanks in A or in C phase, only having one card of T-34s in B phase and one card of BA-10s in B phase as your armored support. So a bit lackluster when it comes to tanks, but they have really good infantry, they have solid air, they have solid artillery support, and they have now decent AA. So let's see how this will go. IR-37 coming in with 1250 kilogram bombs. The nasty recon plane for 55 points. You kind of want to shoot that down, but Shkodder has just the thing to do that. Khers will try to micro against that, but with recon planes it's often not that easy to survive, and this IR won't be one of them. And the MiG-334 also a really strong plane. For 65 points you get 220 mils, a bit low on ammunition, but not super low on ammunition. Though, and yeah, as you can see, it's enough for recon plane for sure. But yeah, used half of its ammo on that recon plane. So shooting down a bomber, you need 2 of these. But it's a pretty fast recon plane that can defend itself against light fighters, or can shoot down recon planes. So it's pretty cool for 65 points. And a lot of PTRs trying to come in here to stop the aggression of Khers, who brings in Ogioris and Big Light Grenadiers. Big Light Grenadiers, one of my favorite infantry units. MG42, 8 MP44s, 3 G43s, pretty decent unit, though obviously on the pricier end. ABU Jor also trying to kill off the PTRS here. Whilst in the south, Khers is giving up to Shkodder here, mostly. Moskaya Autos, Moskaya Picotas, and Ojnats versus only one Pioneer Assault. Double Flamer, yes, but against 4 infantry squads and a leader, that shouldn't be enough. And the PTRS and the PTRDs of the oh no, they don't have. Yeah, no, they have PTRDs. Should be able to deal with the ABU Jor as well, or at least force the ABU Jor out of the forest. Meanwhile, sniper versus sniper duel gets won by the Ojnats VMF thanks to the Maxim support. But over here, more infantry for Khers and the Lunatisti with their sniper push back the PTRS team. In the north, MG MiG-3 still helping out with Scout, but a lot of ABU Jors together with some sniper Calarizi moving in. Moskaya Pichota will try to hold the forest, but they're maybe not quite where they want to be. think they want to be a bit further forward so that they can catch units that are about to get into the forest. Don't think they want to be directly in the deep forest. That might be a mistake there by Shkodder. We'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Boston Bomber coming in the center. But the Moskaya Picotta here already broken. Only the MGs, or one MG and one sniper per team left alive. And that tank gun's coming in, but infantry here feels like it is needed. Cis 2 guns won't help out against all these infantry units here. So there might be a bit of a time to push here for Khers, as there's really nothing here for Shkodder to hold on here. Rogioris coming in good numbers from the rear. What's in the north? Moskaya Picotta versus Rogiori are fighting each other. And this is the range where they want to fight, I think. The Moskaya Picotta, but Rogiori is not that weak either. So with green cover versus yellow cover, the green cover should win. Moskaya Picotta in the north though get eliminated by the ABU Jor rush. Hotshot's trying to come in, trying to help out. But one of Hotshot's would have been really helpful up here right now to help out with its bazooka to maybe kill one or two ABU Jors there. Meanwhile though, yeah, the Cis 2s are in the middle. But no infantry whatsoever. Infantry now on the way again with some Moskaya Picotta. But till they arrive, the ridge might already be captured. And on Orsha East, if you lose the center hill, if you give the opponent the ridge, coming back onto it is a hell of a task to achieve. So Shkodder in a bit of trouble, and Khers even trying to capture the south back, which is something that we usually don't see. Once you lose this, you usually give it up. And Shkodder has a lot of forces here, so if this... I don't think this should work out for Khers. If this works out, that would be quite insane, especially against Moskaya Otto with their Thompsons. The heaviest DPS, or the second best DPS pure SMG squad in the game. Only the 12-man Marrow beat them out. So, a really strong team down there. Let's see how this goes. Pioneer Assault on the way as well. The center, though, for sure, under heavy pressure here. Shkodder will need to find a strategy to hold on. The ABU Jors really pushing the weakness of MGB pretty hard here. MGB pretty weak against any light armor. Doesn't have a good anti-tank killer plane like a Hurricane or so that can help against the ABU Jors as well. No cheap one of those around either. So you're kind of relying on your PTRS and then maybe some anti-tank guns to do the job against the ABU Jors, but both of these are not that effective, and if the enemy knows how to counter them or like how to move around them, the ABU Jors can still survive against these as well and even kill those. So bit of a pickle here for Shkodder in the first 10 minutes, and we'll see how far Khers can push that advantage. Hotshot's now trying to flank the ABU Jors. One already falling. Second one might fall soon as well, as the Hotshot's really try their best, but the rest of the infantry has fallen in front of them. So it's only the Hotshot's now in the north as well. Moskaya Picotta tried to come in, but this is not a hot position whatsoever right now here for Shkodder. Yes, with a heavy push, and that's something we already have seen from Faridomal, and another one of the Foxes, another one of the Iranian players from the Iranian community. They seem really strong in A-phase pushes at the moment. They seem to have practiced that a lot. This one is looking pretty scary as well. Abusing the weaknesses of the opponent's deck and not giving the opponent much breathing room to respond. The Hotshots though do their job, at least. All the ABU draws down in the north, but a lot of infantry out in the wild. Calarizi not able to snipe the Moskaya Auto just yet, but they still have to bridge a bit of a distance here. Do they even get in 100 meter range? Yes, they do, but maybe too late here, as they're still out in the open. They need to retreat, but even if they retreat, they will get killed off here pretty quickly. Calarizi have a lot of firepower, now even getting supported by the Bright Grenadier, and Moskaya Auto just get evaporated, as they couldn't make it into the green cover. And this is not looking hot for Shkodder whatsoever. Southern flank still under heavy pressure as well now. Even here, Khers seems to get the upper hand. Good infantry engagements all around the map. Super good usage of the ABU Jors as well. And the bombers of Shkodder not quite cost efficient enough in countering that. And the infantry fights really not going Shkodder's way at any place on the map right now. And this looks like Khers might win this game really early on, as I don't quite see how Shkodder can bring this back with MGB within the next couple of minutes. 14 minutes still to go, I guess. But the central flag looks pretty tough. The northern flag is heavily pushed back as well. And the trades are not starting to go Shkodder's way either. So far, all the trades that we have seen, other than the one jump with the Hotshot onto the AVU Jors, have been pretty one-sided. And even that came after the AVU Jors basically had paid off already. And the Hotshots, most of them paid for it as well. So they didn't come for free either. And then IL-2 M3 now trying to come with some bombs. But the planes... Yes, if the game would go long, they might be able to grind it out for Shkodder. But I have the fear this game might not go long. Ooh, at least able to capture the flag in the south. Good movement there. And some good trades here as well. Both sides trading out a lot of forces in the south. True Rogiori PM still alive though, so this Sis-2 needs to be pretty careful to come around. Okay, goes back in the rear. At least gives Shkodder a couple of flags, but even with these 2 flags taken, it's still a 15-9 for Shkodder right now. And these flags will be retaken with this push, and the center doesn't look like it will change anytime soon either. Northern flank, the infantry of Shkodder gets wiped out as well. This is looking really rough right now for Shkodder. And Khers with a beautiful, beautiful push, abusing the weakness of MGB perfectly. And I wonder if it was a counter pick. If Shkodder picked MGB first, which would be a mistake. I feel like MGB, similar to other divisions like 358 or like a couple of other divisions as well, that is one of those divisions that is easily counterpicked, like for Munte as well. Like divisions like those that have a glaring weakness, you should not first pick. They are pretty good as counterpicks. I feel like MGB has a place on the right map in the right matchup, and you can pick them there easily, but I feel like you should never first pick them. If that's what happened here, it feels like it. Like, picking MGB into 5th would be even weirder, as 5th feels pretty strong against MGB, as you can see right now. Like, the light armor and so on are stuff that MGB always has suffered with. Arm 38's trying to hold on right now, but the 17-7 is already on, and we are just about to hit B phase. And the 18-6 will be reached within a minute in the south as well. So, yeah, this game is pretty much over. Really strong push here out of our player in blue. Yes, showing a really strong skill level. As Shkodder didn't position badly, right? Like, against a weaker player with 5th Cav, the deployment that Shkodder had deployed would have easily worked out. But Khers just played to the strengths of the division and microed it pretty well as well on the micro level, so not allowing Shkodder any fancy traits either. And with that, Shkodder just got pushed off everywhere. Like, the only things that got some value were the planes, but as I said, they need a couple of reloads to really pay off, and they won't get that as the game will be over in 5 minutes. And there's not much Shkodder can do at this moment anymore. I mean, tanks will be helpful now, but they don't have anything in front of them anymore. Like, there's basically nothing left for our red player here. There's 3 infantry units, 2 anti-tank guns, and 2 tanks versus 30 infantry units or so? Like, the traits are crazy here right now. And as I said, it's not Shkodder playing super bad here. It's just... I feel like Khers winning it maybe... Like first of all, by really good play as well on the ground. As I said, a weaker player versus a weaker player, this would still work out for the MGB of Shkodder, but Khers just knowing the matchup really well and playing all the strengths so well. This really shows you how important setup and division thoughts and division picking in League is, as Khers is just dismantling Shkodder here. Damn! This is impressive. Like, I gotta applaud Khers here for this amazing show of force from a player who's new to Division 1. Like, this is not a veteran, this is not Gonzo who always has done this, and like, no, this is a player who in his first game in Division 1, showing us this much strength, and it's... goddamn, that was one hell of a game. Yeah, Shkodder's not, like, completely blasted away when it comes to kills. Like, Shkodder tried to get as many kills as possible, but like, you were able to see the micro of the Hotshot, but Khers just abused every single weakness in Shkodder's play and deck so well. Winning game number 1 here pretty cleanly. I wonder what game number 2 has in for us, because as I said, I don't think Shkodder is a bad player, and I don't think Shkodder is super outclassed in the micro level or so. The question is, can he bring a better game plan in game number 2? Or will Khers do it again with this immaculate planning and execution of a super strong offensive that seems to be one of the strengths of the Foxes at the moment. It seems to be the one point where they really train a lot. And yeah, maybe we will see just as short of a game number 2. Or maybe Shkodder can hold out a bit longer. I wouldn't expect a push like this out of Shkodder, as Shkodder usually is a bit of a slower player, but we'll see. Game number 2 is ahead of us. See you all there in a couple of minutes, but damn, what a game. So here we go again. Game number 2. On the left side, Khers hanging out a new division, 28 Jäger with Vanguard. But Shkodder stays true to Moskaya Kupepaktina and bring us balanced. So wanting to play the survival game again, but the question is, will he? Will he play the survival game? Or will Khers have as strong of a push again? This time, no light armor. MGB, I feel like, might be a better pick this time around against 28, but we will see if Khers can just do it as well. I mean, Stu 42 still will be annoying, but on Hotshot North you can avoid him at least partially. Like in the middle, obviously there will still be a lot of room for IG33s and Stus, and both coming in A phase. Obviously, it's a Vanguard deck. So let's see how it goes. Vanguard versus Balanced, for sure. Now a bit easier for Vanguard again, since Balanced lost 5 points in B phase. So, and this matchup is a close one again. I feel like before, winning as Vanguard was really tough, but as Balanced caught up pretty quickly in B phase already, and then in C phase you already were basically in advantage with Balanced. But that has changed a good bit, so let's see how it goes. MiG-3 coming out once more. No plane this time on the side of Khers that can be shut down. MiG-3 though will get a good look on what is coming. And Shkodder with a good amount of forces set up in the south, good amount in the north. Meanwhile, Khers will try to push down in the center and try to capture these 3 flags off of Shkodder, which would be a 59 if it goes through. And unless, obviously, Shkodder takes some flags on the side. So southern flank might be flag that could be taken with the push that we see here from Shkodder. So, could be interesting. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. PTRS around, Maxim's around. So, yeah, it's on. PTRS over here. Not quite getting the Jäger flamethrowers. Jäger flamethrowers having double flamer. Dealing a bit more damage than normal flamethrowers, but also are 5 points more expensive. Moskaya Pikotta. Moskaya Autos moving forward. Hotshot's VMF. Trying to get the kill here with the sniper rifle, but the Sturmjägers get through. These units could maybe get the push into these flags, though 2 Sturmjägers hold the line. First flag over here already get taken. Second one falls as well, as the Jägers, supported by Scharfschützen and so on, push out the Maxims. And this is already looking like a bit of trouble for Shkodder once more. Maxim over here doesn't look like it will hold out for too long either. Even the flag in the rear has been fallen already. So southern push kinda needs to come in. You can't afford a 59 for too long. And it's a 59 already. 2 minutes in. 60 minutes on the clock. want to reach sea phase here as Shkodder, so you need to prevent this. Hotshot, Saperi are in the forest. 2 of them with TNT. Moskaya, Otto coming in for the center here as well. For this forest. But the Jägers and Sturmjägers will join in the south. Boston on the way. Bombing the Jäger. Kenny Ploshati and Moskaya Pkata are out, trying to deal with them. Bomber not really hitting anything. And I feel like as a balanced player, investing into planes when the enemy is Vanguard always feels pretty rough. And there's a lot of forces on the way to the south, so flex being taken here doesn't seem to happen anytime soon either, as this formation moved out too late. Northern situation also seems to be already solved by Khers, and 59 might get reinforced here quite quickly. So this flag here under good pressure. Scharfschützen around. Capcutta try to defend themselves. Kaya Otto coming around as well. Hotshot, Saperi doing the job, getting the kill. We'll get a TNT onto the Jägers over here, but will fall most likely before the Jägers are fully stunned down. There comes the TNT. Sky Otto over here, run into the Jägers as well, go down as well. And once more, it's a 59 here for Khers, and this is once more a tough spot here for Shkodder. Are we in for 2 quick games in succession here, or can Shkodder bring this game around? Northern situation, yes, not looking like this flag gonna be taken anytime soon. And that's really the strength of Vanguard. Once you're in a 59 position, you can dig in there with your superior income. You can send in reinforcements quickly there to just take hold of them, and then the enemy will have a run time to dislodge you. Obviously 16-8 a bit safer, as then you can maybe retreat from one of those points eventually, but also obviously harder to achieve. IL-2 here under fire by the Flak 43, so yes, a lot of elite units here for Khers, but if this game doesn't go long, that all will pay off. A lot of high veterancy units and so on. And so far, Khers is on a good way there. 13 minutes on the clock, only 4 minutes played, so we won't reach sea phase at this pace. And Shkodder will have a rough time to try to get us there. North gets reinforced by Chani Plochati. As a battery Führer comes in for the other side to buff out the infantry. Sturmjäger not engaging with their MP44s, so they're a bit weaker here. That's the other Jägers try to move forward a bit as well. Sturmjäger in the south, losing out against Moskaya Otto, as the 12 Thompsons just demolish these here. We'll try to get on to up of another one. Jäger Pioneer Leader though has a TNT, can kill them off with that. And this is once more not looking hot for Shkodder at all. Not looking hot at all. The 59 is going on. Stuck in the north is out. 10-14. This is what needs to be held for basically the rest of the game, because even a bit more 59 will make it so that this game finishes too early in sea phase, or is not reaching sea phase. So yeah, Shkodder needs to hold on to this as much as possible, but it seems like this will be a tough task as a lot of units surrendered over here. Southern flank also still under heavy pressure, and even in the center over here the flag seems to be falling, though Maxims try their best to prevent that, but the IG-33s won't be idle in the rear. Stuck now coming up for the north as well. And this is a really great execution of a great push here from Khers once more. Sturmjäger coming in as well. Another Sturmjäger coming down. Moskaya Pekotta versus Jäger over here. Heavy fight. Got down the heavy fire. Hotshot VMF versus Scharfschützen in a battle. But the Scharfschützen aren't in cover. The Ocean's VMF ain't. And the Boston Bombers will try their best, but against 20 points infantry, they need a lot of runs to pay off. And just like in game number 1, Shkodder might not have those lots of runs that would be necessary here to achieve that. Jägers in the south are around as well. PTRS get overrun by the Ersatztruppen. Meanwhile, in the north, Jägers versus Moskaya Pekota seem to go for the Jäger as well. Oh no. Well, yeah, the MT-42 should go for the Jäger. Well, Sturmjäger will get stopped here, at least. But the 16-8 still going on. Focke-Wulf even now might get a kill on... Oh no! Even losing planes now, something that obviously can't be afforded here by Shkodder. Gets the kill onto Focke-Wulf, but you can't lose planes at this stage. Even if you get the kill, that's still another plane invested into to hunt that down and so on, and max money that you don't have if you're leading infantry units so badly on the ground. And 18-6 once more, and I feel like this game is going the same direction as game number 1, with Khers once more with a pretty great push, and Shkodder maybe with the wrong division. Like, maybe a division that works out pretty well in ranked, where you play against slightly weaker opponents, where you can play to the strength of MGB, and where the enemy maybe is not as good at abusing your weaknesses, but the top level players are pretty knowledgeable. They know the weaknesses of all the divisions, and if you present them a weakness, they will try to abuse it as hard as possible. And in game number 1, that's for sure what happened, and it feels like in game number 2 it's looking similar here. 16-8 already pretty rough in A phase, and I don't see how it should get any better. Obviously, Shkodder will go ahead and income in B phase, but this is such a tough position here. Meanwhile, Jäger's coming in the north. Jäger MG-42 will engage against the Moskaya Pekota, and the 18-6 takes on and on. 38 coming in from the rear. And the 19-5 is going pretty well here for Khers. Jäger go down. Pekota tried to move forward. More Moskaya autos trying to come in, but the infantry fights just not going Khers' way at all. And more not Shkodder's way at all. And Khers bringing in more and more infantry from the rear, flooding the front line, whilst the infantry units of Shkodder get now eaten up piecemeal and completely crushed when they get found. Moskaya autos trying to get into position, one of them dying in transport, the other one will make it in, but the 19-5 is just so brutal. The tick rate here is insane, and it means that this game is over in another 3 minutes. So yeah, a pretty volatile first series, seems like, as Khers comes in with a great push here in both game number 1 and 2. And Shkodder might have to rethink the MGB pick. Maybe it's not as good as Shkodder thought it would be, as it really seems like it's lacking a bit of capabilities to be an all-around versatile division. Also means that in one of these games Shkodder picked this division first, and that is something you never should do. I would expect Shkodder picked it first in game 1, as 5th Cavalry feels more like a counter pick than the 8th Jäger, but not 100% sure about that. Just sure that Khers is on an insanely good way to victory here. Like, there's really little Shkodder can do at this stage, other than just quitting out of this game. 2 minute 8 remaining, but more and more flags get overrun, and there's no cohesive force on the side of Shkodder anymore. No combine arms alive. Once on Khers' side, it just gets better and better. And the 24. Okay. This is not looking hot for Shkodder whatsoever. IG-18 helping now out for Khers as well. Trying to deal with the Sis-2, I think. Okay, well, the infantry could do that as well, but they're also busy a bit. But the 21-3 now has arrived, 38 seconds, and yes, Shkodder is someone who plays always to the end, but this game will go down, will end in a couple of seconds, and Khers will get the deserved victory here. I feel like yes, next to nothing Shkodder could do in game number 1, and there feels like maybe a couple of misplay in game number 2, but also still stellar execution by Khers once more. Really good pushes with the Wehrmacht forces, and yeah, Shkodder surrenders. And we have a 2-0 victory from Khers over Shkodder, our newcomer from Division 2, already starting pretty hot. And yeah, GGVP here. GGVP to Khers, taking the 2-0 victory. As you can see, KD not that, like, it's still pretty like good for Khers, but it's not completely utterly destructive. But you also have to keep in mind he has the income advantage by a good margin on top of that. So plus Shkodder invested into more planes, so in the end, Khers has way more on the front line on the field, and that allows him to push so easily. And yeah, deserved 2-0 victory. Shkodder not looking super duper hot there in these two games. Might have to bring out a different division in future group phase games, as MGB feels a bit lacking. Like, not bad, but just not quite good enough for Division 1 gameplay. As I said, maybe Shkodder has a lot of good experience with it in ranked, but there's a bit of a difference between league play where you pick and ban, and also the players are top notch, and quick play and ranked where there's a bit more variety in that pool. So yeah, good job to Khers, getting the chances up there to maybe make it to the playoffs in Division 1, which obviously already would be a good achievement for a newcomer to Division 1. But we will see how it goes. The group is hot with both Quattro and Gonzo also in that group, so it won't be easy. But we'll see how it goes. Before that,